final speakers are Frank Grijalva, who's head of the Overlake School in Redmond, Washington. Overlake is an independent school, grades 5 to 12, and under Dr. Grijalva, the school has raised funds to build a sister school in Palin in Cambodia. And with Frank is Kate Berry, who's a student at the school. I was a little startled when I met Kate at lunch. I'm going to read out some of what she's accomplished, and I'm not quite sure how she's done it in the time available so far in her life. She's a junior at Overlake, a student government officer, a chair of the Washington State Legislative Youth Advisory Council, and director of activism for Junior State of America. I don't know how you fitted it all in, Kate. And Kate was one of 12 students who participated in the pilot global service project in Cambodia. So over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored to be here today with this distinguished panel and at this conference. It really is an honor for me and my students to be here as well. In late August of 2001, I challenged my community to build a school in rural Cambodia through the auspices of American Assistance for Cambodia. Subsequently, the events of 9/11 mobilized the community in unexpected ways, and within a year, the students had raised the $15,000 needed to build a brick 5-room schoolhouse in Pailin in western Cambodia. A group of Overlake parents, teachers, and students traveled to Pailin in February of 2003 to dedicate the school and to greet the 350 enrolled elementary school students. While we celebrated our accomplishments of having built a school, we asked ourselves, what next? The answer came in April of 2006 when we decided that bricks and mortars were not enough. It was time for our students to meet their counterparts in Pailin. Our global service project took 12 students and 4 teachers to Pailin, Cambodia in April 2006. Our students spent 5 days teaching English, arts and crafts, music, dance, games, and American culture. While in Pailin, we installed 6 computers, a satellite dish, and brought electricity to the school for the first time, and we connected the school to the world. Beyond these details is the real story of a cross-cultural encounter that has changed lives. Here to share the students' perspective is Kate Berry, a junior at the Overlake School. Kate?
He who opens a school door closes a prison. These words of 19th century French writer Victor Hugo ring true today in a 5-room school in Pailin, Cambodia. The school represents the potential to liberate its students and shut out tightly the prison of poverty, isolation, and the unspeakable horrors of the sex trade. In that corner of the world, a simple school in Pailin represents, in a word, hope. Hope for the students of Pailin comes through the acquisition of knowledge, skills, and security from literacy and access to technology, to ideas, to resources, and to a constant connection to the rest of the world. Our goal for this project was to engage and empower the students through literacy and technology. Education is the golden ticket for students like the students in Cambodia. It is their passport to a successful future. Therefore, with nervous excitement, we prepared for our journey through a year-long process beginning with lessons in Cambodian culture, language, and history, goal identification, and finally, planning our lessons and activities. We had 3 main focuses for our activities. First, to teach reading skills. Second, to reinforce computer literacy. And third, to establish a personal relationship with students and a continued connection to our sister school. Our first priority was to improve reading literacy and expose the students to new ideas. To address this issue, we focused on 2 things: creating the school's first library and teaching basic reading skills. Where before there was just a handful of books for over 500 students, we bought Khmer and English books and provided bookshelves to organize them and encourage reading. Using homemade flashcards, we quizzed the students in basic English. We read books and sang songs as we exchanged words. They taught us English we taught them English as they taught us Khmer. Our second priority was to reinforce computer literacy. Prior to our visit, the school had just one computer powered through a solar panel and no internet access. As Frank said, through fundraising efforts, we bought 6 computers and a printer to establish the school's first computer lab. During our trip, we used the remaining funds to purchase a satellite dish so that the students could access the internet. By our last day in Pailin, the school computer lab was fully functioning with internet. Imagine the overwhelming joy in all of us, students, teachers, Americans, Cambodians, when we hit the send button, and for the first time, the Overlake School in Pailin was connected to the rest of the world. As New York Times columnist Nicholas Kristof put it, they are now barefoot students with Yahoo accounts. Our third priority, and the one that resulted in memories we will hold on to for a lifetime, was to establish a personal relationship with the students of our sister school. We played sports together, traditional Khmer games and American pastimes like baseball. We made bracelets and drew pictures. We taught the students easy dances like the Macarena, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and the hokey pokey. And they shared with us traditional dance. The students gave of themselves in so many ways, sending us home with mementos and memories of kindness that will last a lifetime. They helped us think differently about ourselves and our country. They challenged us to pay it forward, to emulate their generosity and overlook our original stereotypes. They led us to realize that sometimes the hokey pokey really is what it's all about. One of the boys, named Sapip, told me he had never been happier than when we visited. I think I speak for our group when I say we felt the same. During the project, we observed an outlook on life we could not have imagined. We met a people who have very few material possessions, who face enormous challenges and live in impoverished conditions, yet who exude an attitude of graciousness and contentment that most of us can only imagine. We learned what it means to live for the moment, to be completely happy, to be grateful, and to love. The students continue to teach us as well. Many send us emails as often as once a week. My favorite was a message from my friend Sapip. He wrote, "Please do not make dirty look. Please try and smile every time as possible." That is, I suppose, the secret to the Cambodian lifestyle we witnessed, smiling as often as one can. We who open school doors close prisons. Yes, through the doors of the school, students of Pailin have access to resources that can provide security and hope for their future. But they are not the only ones who left behind a prison. Through those same school doors, we, the students of the Overlake School in Redmond, Washington, were also freed of insulation and ignorance, freed up to see the world and our role in it in new, promising ways. As we passed through the school doors in Pailin, we gained an understanding of the human condition and an appreciation for a way of life that has far less to do with acquiring material things than building community and character. We are no longer waiting on the world to change. We believe we have the capacity to change the world. And we learned that it is not only great acts from powerful people that can create positive change. Equally important are the small acts by individuals, including us, done with great love, especially when we remember to smile, as Sapip said, every time as possible. When we dare to open school doors, we not only close prisons, we open the world and ourselves to the greatest treasure of all, hope. Thank you very much.